Hello my friends, and welcome to something a little different. Now I talk about underwater games on this channel a lot, but for today, I figured we'd go a step further and actually dive into the oceans of our very own real world. But rather than look, today we will be listening. Water is an amazing conductor for sound. In fact, it travels through water multiple times faster than it does through air, due to particle density, and so it is no wonder that we've detected some rather strange sounds coming from the scary depths of our oceans over the years, and today we'll be taking a look at those. I'll tell you some information about each of them, perhaps even a proposed explanation, we'll have a listen, and then we'll rank them on a tier list based on how creepy they are in my purely subjective opinion. So, without any further ado, let's dive right into the quite spooky tier. Now with all of these, it's important to note that the version you can actually listen to had to be sped up, often by a factor of more than 16, up from infrasound, since they were all at extremely low frequencies that wouldn't be audible to the human ear. August 1991. The Pacific Marine Environmental Laboratory, which carries out investigations into oceanography and atmospheric science, begins using the SOS-US, or Sound Surveillance System, which was originally developed to use passive sonar to detect Soviet submarines. Now, when the Federal Laboratory began recording using this system, they detected a sound that was present in the background. With a source level high enough to be detected throughout the Pacific, it consists of a series of upsweeping sounds, each several seconds in duration. This sound has persisted over the years in a strange seasonal cycle, peaking around spring and autumn, though the reason for this cycle is unclear. The source has roughly been located between New Zealand and South America and is thought to be of volcanic origin, though it has never been confirmed. While the sound has been declining in volume over the years, it can still be detected today. Have a listen. To me, that sounds really weird, like an alarm maybe? Definitely quite spooky. The Pacific Ocean truly appears to be a hotspot for mysterious underwater sounds, as you'll see in this list, not unlike our next contender here. On May 19, 1997, an autonomous hydrophone array recorded an approximately 7-minute-long sound that slowly decreased in frequency, earning it the name Slowdown. Based on comparing spectrograms, it is thought the sound was likely produced by a massive ice sheet moving overland around Antarctica. Curiously, the sound has been picked up several times each year since then at a somewhat consistent level. Have a listen. I don't know about you, but I can certainly hear some massive creature growling in this one. Quite spooky indeed. And now perhaps the most famous of mysterious underwater sounds, the bloop. Captured in 1997, this powerful ultra-low frequency sound rose rapidly in frequency for about 1 minute, with an amplitude massive enough to be captured on sensors at a range of over 5,000 kilometers or 3,100 miles. On the first listen, the sound seems to resemble a living creature, but what puzzled researchers about it was that the bloop was several times louder than the blue whale, the currently loudest reported animal. So what could it be? Well, over the years, as more underwater sounds were captured and analyzed, the bloop seems very consistent with the spectrogram that ice quakes produce. These are seismic events usually caused by a crack in ice or frozen soil. With the data gathered from tracking the disintegration of the A53A iceberg, researchers were able to assess that the bloop likely originated from between the Bransfield Straits and the Ross Sea, possibly around Cape Adare in Antarctica. So a cracking iceberg or a massive leviathan? Well, you be the judge. Quite creepy if I say so myself, and definitely a nice bridge into our next tier. Now, this next one is just strange. On March 5, 1997, the Pacific Ocean Hydrophone Array captured a sound that strongly resembled the horn of a speeding train, with a fast rise into a relatively steady frequency. As with other sounds on this list, it is thought to be caused by a massive iceberg running aground somewhere in the Ross Sea. What do you think it sounds like? Definitely very spooky in my opinion. From all the sounds on this list, this might be the one with the strangest name and history. First reported in 1960 by submarine personnel around the west coast of Australia, they noted a repeating duck-like sound with a frequency range between 60 and 100 Hz, and an interval of 1.6 to 3.1 seconds between each quack, for the lack of a better word. This sound is weird. In fact, in a paper called Acoustic Ecology of Marine Mammals in Polar Oceans, it was dubbed as the largest still unresolved mystery of the Southern Ocean. It would continue to remain a mystery until 2014, after a research team led by Denise Reisch conducted research into Antarctic minke whales. After attaching suction-cupped recording devices to them, they recorded 32 calls over a combined 25+ hours, 6 of which seemed to have similar properties to the bioduck sounds. What the purpose of this sound is remains unknown to this day. In a 2017 paper, The Influence of Sea Ice, Wind Speed, and Marine Mammals on Southern Ocean Ambient Sound, it is theorized it might be connected to feeding, while other researchers in Frozen versus Antarctic minke whales speculate it might be connected to mating. Regardless of which it is, the bioduck sound is undeniably strange. Have a listen. Certainly not something you expect to hear underwater, and for some reason this one just gets to me. I don't know. Very spooky. As an honorable mention, I want to also add the so-called ping to our list here. Occurring in the Fury and Hecla Strait, a narrow Arctic channel in Canada, throughout the summer of 2016, various residents of the town Igloolik reported a hum or beep emanating from the sea floor and scaring off the marine life. The Canadian military looked into the situation and carried out thorough surface and subsurface sweeps, which failed to turn up anything suspicious, such as submarines. The independent global campaigning network Greenpeace was considered, since there were past rumors of them using similar sonar sounds to drive animals away from hunting grounds. However, their spokeswoman Farah Khan denied such allegations. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to find a recording of this one online, but still felt it fit into our very spooky list. And now we're on to the truly freaky stuff. In 1997, on July 7th at 7:30 GMT, a hydrophone in the eastern regions of the Pacific recorded a strange sound. Dubbed Whistle by the US National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, the sound was similar to audio previously recorded near submarine volcanoes. Unfortunately, multiple points of recording are necessary to pinpoint where exactly the sound came from, And since this one was only caught on a single device, there is no way to tell where it originated for sure. To this day, the source remains unidentified. Have a listen. Just the fact that it sounds kinda like a creature and the source hasn't been identified really puts this one on another level for me. Curiously enough, we will be staying in the Pacific region for our next sound. Captured on March 1st, 1999 by the NOAA, the so-called Julia was loud enough to be detected over the entire equatorial Pacific Ocean Autonomous Hydrophone Array, that's a mouthful, for a duration of 2 minutes and 43 seconds. The point of origin could only be roughly narrowed between the Brainfield Straits and Cape Adar, with the most likely explanation being that Julia was generated by an iceberg running aground. What do you think? I swear I never imagined icebergs would sound this scary. Finally, this one is strange, creepy, and maybe even a bit sad. In 1989, a call of an animal was detected by the Woods Hole Oceanographic Institution using the SOSUS, or Sound Surveillance System, that resonated at the frequency of close to 52 Hz. It was picked up again multiple times, and as of 2014, it has been detected every year since. As the name suggests, this is most likely the call of a whale, but happens to be at a considerably higher frequency than other species with similar migratory patterns, such as the blue whale or fin whale. Now, the curious thing is that despite being regularly picked up by hydrophone arrays, the animal has never been sighted, and scientists have been unable to identify its species. Its movements are unrelated to the presence of other whale species, as it regularly undertakes a long swim north towards the Kodiak Islands, later returning south towards the California coast. Because of this solitary lifestyle, the whale has been called the loneliest whale on Earth, and it has even been mentioned in several pieces of media, including The Loneliest Whale: The Search for 52, co-produced by Leonardo DiCaprio in 2021. Curiously, over the years, the sounds have deepened slightly to reach the current number, suggesting the animal has grown or matured. Whilst the species has never been confirmed, the most prevalent theory is that it might be a malformed blue whale, or some sort of a hybrid, or perhaps something way scarier. Have a listen. And that brings us to the end of the list, so I really hope you guys enjoyed and maybe learned something new about the mysterious sounds we've been able to capture over the years in our own oceans. If there are interpretations of these that I didn't mention, please leave them down in the comments. I would love to know what you hear in some of them. And if you liked the video, maybe consider leaving a comment, liking, or subscribing. All of those would be very much appreciated. Now with that, I'm gonna wish you all a beautiful rest of today, and I'll see you in whatever next video I make. Bye bye.